This is not a horror movie. This is real. Between 2007 and 2009, a man in Mexico did something so disturbing, so terrifying. It shocked the entire world. His nickname, El Pozolero, the stew maker. His job, dissolving human bodies in acid for the cartel. This is his story. Santiago Meza Lopez was a bricklayer, a quiet man. Nothing about him seemed dangerous. He lived in Baja California, Mexico, a region long plagued by drug cartels. Then one day, the cartel made him an offer. They didn't ask him to kill. They asked him to make bodies disappear. His job? Boil the victims in acid until only liquid and bones were left. He was paid about $600 a week. He called the process pozole, like the Mexican soup made from pork and hominy. But instead of meat, it was human remains. And instead of cooking, it was destruction. In a remote place outside Tijuana, hidden among trees and dust, was a house, El Pozolero's workshop. There were barrels, gloves, chemicals, and silence. Always silence. People were dropped off, bound, gagged, often already dead. Some were still alive. Santiago never asked questions. He didn't know their names, didn't want to. His job was to pour acid and wait. For hours, sometimes days. When the bodies were gone, he dumped what was left into pits or drains. By 2009, he confessed he had processed more than 300 people, but that number was just the beginning. This wasn't just one man's madness. It was part of a larger, cruel machine. The Tijuana cartel, once run by the feared Arellano Felix brothers, ruled with violence. They used El Pozolero to erase their enemies without a trace. No bodies meant no evidence. No evidence meant no justice. People disappeared. Mothers wept. Families searched. But in a country where corruption ran deep, few answers came. Authorities often turned a blind eye. Fear kept people quiet. Santiago kept working, and the cartel kept killing. In 2009, everything changed. Santiago was arrested by the Mexican military in a raid. At first, no one knew who he was. Then he spoke, and what he said chilled the world. He admitted it all. The acid, the barrels, the bodies. He cried, said he didn't want to do it, but claimed he feared for his life if he stopped. He led police to his dump sites. One of them held a horrifying truth. In 2018, nearly a decade after his arrest, authorities uncovered a mass grave near one of Santiago's old sites. Inside, the remains of over 3,000 people, bones, teeth, pieces of lives torn apart. Families came with photos praying to find something, anything, to identify their lost loved ones. It wasn't just Santiago. It was a system, a network of fear, blood, and silence. El Pozolero didn't create the horror, but he became the face of it. Today, Santiago is still behind bars, but justice, it's still far away for thousands of families. They have no graves, no closure, only memories and questions. Why did no one stop it sooner? How many more are still missing? And how many more stew makers are out there? This is the story of one man, but it's also the story of a nation fighting to heal its wounds, one truth at a time. The world was shocked by El Pozolero, but in Mexico, his story is a reminder. Behind every statistic is a life. Behind every disappearance is a family that still waits.